Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a garden and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sight like a lot.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys a major update for the upcoming Boruto anime episode. So, courtesy Organic Dinosaur, we have episode synopsis for episode 236, 237, and 238. And this is going to take us right into the month of March. And I have to say, there are a couple of episodes in here that kind of lead me to believe what I said in the anime review yesterday, which is we're in a situation where they're about to start putting their foot to the gas with this current arc that's going on in the Hidden Mist Village. And it looks like we're going to be in a situation where there's going to be a big battle at the end of this arc. So getting right into it, episode 236, which is going to be titled Escape, and it's going to be broadcast on February 13th. This comes to us via TV Tokyo's website. The synopsis says, while Boruto and his teammates were on guard around Doto Island, a huge mobile fortress suddenly appeared right in front of their very eyes. Boruto and Kawaki and Bunten then sneak onto the fortress together in order to gather some intel based on Kagura's orders. There, the three of them witness the sheer inhumanity of Tenma. Tenma is the second and adopted son of Arayumi, who is the head of the Funato clan. Meanwhile, Denki and the others from Team 5 have managed to join up with Sarada and Mitsuki. By cooperating with Team 5, they then begin an operation to extricate everyone from the island. So this one right here, this actually grabs my attention. And the reason why is we're seeing more signs of what I said earlier on in this arc when we got the synopsis and I had an idea of like, oh my God, Kagura is going to be leading a really big team, and the number of people that he's going to be leading leads me to believe that Kagura might have been promoted to Jonin. And what we see right here is that he's continuing to kind of give off orders, and he's putting together teams that work well together. So you have Kawaki, who to Kagura's knowledge is pretty much an unknown. He doesn't know much about Kawaki's skill, but Boruto's there to balance out Kawaki. Boruto's more so meant for close quarters combat. Boruto also has a variety of jutsu that you can use. You have Bunten, someone who gives you more support from a long range as well as from a close range with their swords. So all of this does kind of make sense that these three be working together. There's enough skill. Now, they're not the first choice you would have when it comes to gathering intel, but given the stakes for the situation, this is one of those times where I do expect you to see Boruto take a lead in the initiative, unless it's going to be Bunten, and that's going to be very curious to see if Boruto allows her to do that, and especially Kawaki, because Kawaki has a problem with authority. So this has potential for some conflict right here. Now, the other thing that kind of stands out is that Tenma is the second and adopted son of Arayumi, the leader of the Funato clan. And the reason why that stands out right there is that typically when you start getting the second son or the adopted child, typically the cliche for characters like that is that those characters will go above and beyond in order to prove themselves. And the fact that we're hearing that there are some inhumane things that are going on here leads me to believe that there's probably going to be a sadist here. So I'm really wondering if Boruto or Kawaki is going to be the one who kind of lashes out, because both of those guys have a quick temper. So that's to me curious. Again, that's good conflict right there. So that's 236. So episode 237 is titled The Mobile Fortress, and that's me broadcast on February 20th, and this one is courtesy of Animedia Magazine. So the synopsis for this episode says that a powerful weapon's been installed on the mobile fortress. It creates a hazard to not only everyone on the island, but also to Sarada and her comrades from Konoha. Their team is trying to hasten the evacuation in order to get everyone out of harm's way. Meanwhile, Kagura, Hebiichigo, and Fufuki act as reinforcements and arrive at Boruto, Kawaki, and Bunten's location. In order for Boruto and his comrades to be able to protect everyone, they have to destroy the weapon somehow. However, Tenma is now standing in their way. A battle breaks out between them. During this same time frame, the weapon is still getting prepared for activation and use, and in the end, will Boruto and his comrades be able to protect everyone from the impending threat, the mobile fortress? So this right here, this really grabs my attention, because having Sarada, somebody who can get very emotional in a situation where it's not just the lives of her, and her teammates, but it's also innocent people who are gonna be at stake here. I think that this starts the opportunity for us to start seeing Sarada struggle a little bit with that Uchiha clan nature. I'm not saying she's gonna go as far as say Madoru Uchiha, where what she sees ends up shaping her. That's not the arc that she's gonna take as a character. However, I do think that this is a great opportunity to see Sarada struggle with some of the same emotions that Madara did, because you got to remember, Madara seeing all of his brothers being killed off, it changed Madara. Having Sarada see innocent people hurt will change her. We heard all that talk from Tobirama about how the Uchiha clan have this huge capacity for love. One of the things you do with love is you protect things that you care about. Sarada's gonna have that insane urge to protect the people on this island. I really can't wait to see her struggle with what you're seeing right here. This is good internal versus external conflict. This is interesting, and the reason why is this also kind of proves what I said in the episode review correct, which is I said we're moving into phases here just based off the military operation before you can see direct engagement with these Funato pirates. They've got to survey the land, which is exactly what Sarada was doing when she infiltrated that island, and she's using Denki as a way to do that. Denki's team is more familiar with that island due to how long they've been on there, and they can come up with a plan to evacuate everybody. So you've got to get the civilians in a secure location. And now you have Kagura, who has basically dispatched Boruto, Kawaki, and Bunton onto that ship, and they're going for intel. And now you have the final three-man team that's going to be serving as backup once it looks like there's going to be a fight that's breaking out. And the reason for that is that you have this weapon, and based on the way that it's described, I'm wondering if this is going to be something similar to the Raikage's chakra cannon that we saw in Naruto the Last. The technology has improved enough to where you could have something like this. So I'm kind of curious to see what this is, because this looks like this might be an island level threat in terms of destructive capability. So I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to be. And I like what they're doing right here, because once you have the civilians in a secure location, you can leave somebody like Denki, who isn't necessarily the most combat apt, to guard them. You can probably keep somebody like Iwabe there. You take Metal Lee with you, and you're given the opportunity for a large scale fight against Tenma, the oldest son of the Funato clan, as well as the battle at Arayumi. I think that this is likely going to be your big drag 'em out fight that's happening here. Again, all the pieces are being set up for this final confrontation. Now, the final episode is going to be titled The Ship of the Bloodthirsty Killer, and that's going to be airing on February 27th, and this is for episode 238. This was also published in Animedia magazine. So the synopsis is pretty short. It says a murder case suddenly springs up on the ship that was slated to transport the people who were extricated from Doto Island to a safe place. Based on the condition of the corpse, there was some suspicion that Kyoho was the culprit. However, he denied any knowledge or involvement in it. Nevertheless, there wasn't any conclusive evidence that he wasn't the murderer either. At any rate, Kagura wants to trust Kyoho. He then assigns Boruto and Iwabe to monitor the suspect, Kyoho. Meanwhile, the other members of their team get split up into different groups. They will be searching for clues that could potentially indicate that there is a culprit among them. Just then, Kawaki notices something. So this right here, this was expected. Ever since we got the revelation that these three members of the Seven Ninja Swords in the Mist had these seals on their neck, I said, hey, that's a precautionary measure. This is more so something just in case they get out of line. Kagura is not going to leave those hand seals in order to blow off their heads unless he has concrete proof. And in the episode, one of the things that I believe it was Bunton that said that if we wanted to do something, we do it when Kagura wasn't paying attention. So they're paying off that line right there. I think that this is a misdirect. I don't think any of them are doing anything. That being said, I'm probably going to fall asleep watching this episode simply for the fact that I'm not a fan of whodunit storylines. Even though I can appreciate what it is they're trying to do, that's just not my cup of tea. There's going to be somebody that's on that ship that is likely going to be the one behind it. It's basically trying to stir up dissension among the ranks when it comes to Kagura's team. That's very smart for whoever's in the enemy that's doing this. And I like the way that it ends off with Kawaki noticed something. So you're likely going to see Kawaki's intuition in play here. I do like that. And I do like the fact that it doesn't tell us how this battle took place. So I'm kind of wondering if the battle in the previous episode was something that got wrapped up very quickly, or if this was a situation where they had to retreat. I'm kind of wondering how that went, because that's a lot of people. That's basically a 6-on-1 battle. So either Tenma is very skilled, or Kagura's teams ended up defeating him outright. I'm kind of wondering which way this is. But I mean, overall, you can kind of see that they're building towards getting us to this climax. You know, again, I don't think that this is going to be something that stretches over onto the next anime release, but I do think that when this arc is over, I think there's going to be like the Mitsuki desertion arc, where going through it on a week-by-week basis, it's going to be a slow arc that's more so devoted towards build-up. But if you go through and you watch the episodes in a binging fashion, it's a lot easier to get through, and it doesn't feel as slow and weighed down. That's how it was for me with the Mitsuki desertion arc, and I think that this hidden miss arc is going to be a very similar way. However, I want to know from you guys, which episode are you most excited about? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.